we 65? And welcome back, folks, to another scorching, sharp episode of the Wet Shavers Roundtable, episode 65. I'll be one of your many hosts today, Douglas Smythe, PhoenixShaving.com. And with me, as always, I have Scott Ostermiller, the Clean Shaver. Say hi, Scott.
Hey, everybody.
And back for his second week in a row, special guest panelist, Mark Harrow, or Mantic 59 from the Sharpologist.com.
Hello.
And also with us, we have Mr. Joseph Borrelli of the Wet Shaving News, also coming at us from the Sharpologist. So we could have a tennis game, the four of us, sometime. Yeah. But welcome back. This is our special. It's third part of
what's up, guys?
Q&A episodes we've been doing here on the Wet Shavers Roundtable, and this show is pretty much dedicated to the noobs out there who may be too shy to ask a question in the forum, or maybe had this burning question for Mantic 59. This is their chance to get that answered. But we're here to answer those impossible questions. And if we don't get questions, we'll actually make them up ourselves from some of the popular ones we've heard in the past. This will be the be-all, end-all of Wet Shaving Questions show. No pressure, guys. So before we hop right in, I just want to make a quick announcement that once again, the How to Grow a Mustache blog, we're doing another Movember team to raise funds for men's health. Last year we raised a little over $6,000. So we're looking to do that again, if not more, because I mean, this is it's for guys, it's for us. Hopefully we never have to use any of these funds, but we're doing it for us. And to join the team, you simply need to go to, well, we have two teams. We have a Canadian team and one in the States. The one in the States is MovemberTeamHitGam.com. I'll put the link right here. And the Canadian team is HitGam A Team.com. It's hitgam-a-team.com, and that'll go right here.
I think I'm going to join that team just because of the name.
Kick off, nice. Sorry. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Join us this year, folks, and grow a bitchin' bulletproof mustache, much like my own. Now, let us begin. What do we got for our first question, Scott?
All right, first questions we have. Whoa, we got a bunch. Holy cow. Okay, so this one will be fun. Does straight razor shaving offer a better shave or over DE shaving? Thoughts, anybody?
Well,
it depends.
Yeah, it is a tough one. I mean, I'll say personally for me, I'm a DE Shirley. If I straight razor shave,
that's a tough one.
Sometimes when I'm feeling it, but for the most part, David Gonzalez, who's typically here, he's our straight razor guy. But I think it really it depends on technique at the end of the day for both. You know, what are your thoughts, Scott?
I would say almost exactly the same thing. I'm generally a DE or SE shaver. I don't if I same kind of thing. If I break out a straight razor, it's because I have time to do it, and I want to really take my time and just enjoy the shave. The straight does offer a very different feel. There's definitely a lot more blade exposure and a lot. It is just a different experience. But you can get just as good of a shave out of a DE as you can out of a straight. You can also get just as bad of a shave out of a straight as you can of a DE. So it really just comes down to skill level and practice and patience. And one is not necessarily superior as far as the results are concerned to the other, in my experience.
Fair enough. What do you got, Mantic?
Actually, I'm going to defer to Joe pretty much on this question, but just from my own point of view, I kind of echo the two of you. You can get a better shave with a straight, but will you get a better shave? Shave is wholly dependent on skill and the how well you've treated the blade itself, and there are some real subtleties involved. So yeah, I mean, you can get a better shave, but will you get a better shave is another question.
I think it all comes down to, a lot of the, you can incorporate some straight razor technique into your DE shaving, be it switching hands or skin pulling, or such as this, to get a pretty damn close shave comparable to a straight razor.
Yep.
But again, we're deferring this to you, Joe. You're our on-board straight razor guy. You go both ways.
We can hear you okay.
I can hear you, yep.
All right, guys. I know am I freezing up, or can you hear me in real time? Am I good? Okay, I know I'm freezing up a little bit, but I can hear you guys pretty good. After this, maybe I'll just reconnect and come back on. So I've been straight razor shaving primarily for the last probably 6 or 7 years now. This year's the year I really got into safety razor shaving. I just really started trying it out. With the straight razor, I can tell you is you can control the angle. You can definitely control the angle a lot better. Whether or not you can get a better shave, I think it takes a long time to master a straight. And it's not like you see guys online, they'll say, oh, after 100 shaves. No, it takes years. It definitely takes at least a year of daily shaving. I mean, it's really not that easy to do. And it does take some time to get that shave perfect. And I think that you can get superior shaves with a straight razor, but you can get great shaves with a safety razor as well. So it's all about your technique mostly,
right?
Your prep.
You, however, will not get a better shave on a
honed,
coconut with a straight razor than you will with a DE.
That's the main factors with a straight razor.
I can say that from experience.
Joe, don't go anywhere. Don't disconnect because I can't get you back.
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Yeah.
Well, that's another story.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Did that answer the question?
I think that was good.
Okay.
Let's
so
see.
What else we got, Scott?
Cool.
I
won't move around a lot then.
What is razor buffing, and is it something I should be doing? I think we should hand this one to Mantic right away.
I think so.
The usual term is blade buffing rather than razor buffing, but it's essentially, like the name implies, a very short, very quick, very light buffing motion with the razor at the end of the shave to clean off any little rough patches you may have. By coincidence, I happen to have a razor with me here. It does not have a...
Hey, imagine that.
Hey. As a matter of fact, speaking of this razor, before I actually demonstrate, this is a pre-production model of the new Parker variant adjustable.
Ooh.
And production coming very soon. This particular version is more or less what the production version will be. A couple very minor tweaks. And let me tell you, it is a terrific adjustable razor.
Can you hold it closer to the camera?
Yeah, do you mind holding it up there?
If you are familiar with the Merkur Progress, it's very similar in style and fashion to the Progress, but it has addressed all the issues that the Progress has with, not a very good
grip
handle.
Nice.
This is textured quite well. It's not going to slip out of your hand. It's got a metallic adjustable dial at the bottom, unlike the plastic one of the Merkur. It has better balance, in my opinion, better weight, in my opinion. A fine razor, worth the wait. And I think when the production model comes out very soon, there will be a lot of people pleased with it.
Very cool.
Getting back to the question, a blade buff, I usually do it on my chin, and it kind of goes like this, very light, very short, very quick kind of movements. And again, it's made to really clean up those little patches of rough stubble that might be left after the shave. You probably don't want to do this on your first pass, but it's really something you probably want to do on a cleanup pass.
I kind of think of it as like using a very fine grit sandpaper on a piece of wood when you're like, it's the finishing work, right? It's that very, there's just a little tiny rough patch or something like that. You're just trying to kind of clean it up. And I don't, it's something that you really only, at least for me, I really only do when I'm really just looking to get that perfect shave. Most of the time,
so it's like this part. After the 3 passes, you're like, am I the only one that does this? Like, oh, there it is right here. And then,
there's that spot I missed. It's this big.
Yeah. Yeah, the DOC, someone mentioned, does a great job with that. The DOC does do a great job at that because it's pretty much impossible to cut yourself on with such limited blade exposure. And plus the lather that it leaves behind. You can just go back and forth and keep reapplying the lather too. But I wanted to demonstrate razor buffing in case that was the original question. Just like that, folks. Sorry, I had to. You want to add to that, Joe? Not that, but blade buffing.
Yeah. Well, you want a good polish when you buff your razors. You definitely. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. Definitely, probably something. Mark nailed it on the head. Something you don't want to do right away. Maybe not at first, but when you go like this, we're face debating, right? That's when you notice the little spots and you want to buff away. And then when you want to use a good metal polish, I mean, there's Moz works well and Fitz works well too when you want to buff the actual razor itself.
What else we got, Scott?
Let's see.
In keeping with some humor.
Recommendations for non-Gillette vintage razors that are great shavers.
DE or SE?
Yeah, I was gonna say it depends. My choice for an SE would be a gem.
That's gotta be
a Gem 1912 or a Everready or a Micromatic open comb, something like that. Great shavers if you were looking for an SE, or a Schick injector if you're looking for the injector types. Brett Dills mentioned over on the side here, Schick Krona is actually very similar to most of the Gillette TTOs. Let's see, I'm trying to think of others. Gillette really kind of like dominated the market. I mean, they were like 90% of all the razors that were made back then. But
Merkur 1904, like the original 1904, I think is a killer design. Sort of thinner head than the 1904 06 as you see nowadays. They're reproducing. But what you really need to do, I mean, there's lots of great, well, there's not lots. There's probably 2 great books out there of all the razors, or almost all that there's any information on. I can't think of the name of them right now, but Matt at Razor Emporium, I think, has a page on his site that has a PDF for this. But what I recommend doing is using the UK eBay and search for vintage safety razors, because over here we're so Gillette centric. That's all we know for vintage razors, it seems like. And like, I'm only happy with like 2 of Gillette's designs. Definitely. There really weren't that many innovations. But then you look at the European companies and what they were doing over there. Like Laresh is one of my favorite out of France, and the stuff they were doing is coming so far ahead of their time. I'm almost afraid to give you guys some names because I'm still looking for half of these. But did I say search? Google Translate is your friend. Start with UK eBay and then go to Japan or
which
Germany.
You do have to use Google Translate because they speak British, not English.
Yes, but or Irish. Have you seen that?
Or Irish.
Google Translate Irish is an option. Go figure. Because Irish is something like no, I don't know. But yeah, so go there.
That's
and
offensive.
I know it is, but I'm Irish. So I have a lot of Irish friends. Hold on, here's a picture. But yeah, now go there, and that'll give you a lot of the names of some really cool, funky razors, and definitely worth checking out if you can find some under $50, because you won't see a lot of those on the North American or the US eBay. But the designs that were coming out of there that Gillette would like shut down if they could immediately were far, I think, anyways. This is why MMV better than a lot of Gillette's designs that we seem to see more frequently here, including like the toggle. And the toggle, I personally think is a horrible. It's not that great. I think what makes it so special is that it's rare.
Rarity.
The reason why it's rare is they stopped making because it wasn't that great. So that's just how I feel. What you guys got? Who's next? Scott. Oh, you started.
Yes.
Mantic.
Yeah.
He's a modern guy.
That's true.
What?
You like the modern razor.
I do prefer the modern razors, although I do have tried and enjoyed both the Schick Krona and Schick injectors. I think both those are worthy to look at, particularly the Kronas you can get pretty cheaply, and it's a good design.
Yeah.
It's just one of those kind of get it done without a whole lot of muss or fuss kinds of things.
Excellent.
It's true.
You, Joe? Yeah.
Well, I think you named it a few minutes ago. It's something that you and we've talked about a few times. The Laresh French razors. Those are, the design is just mind-boggling. If you can find one, you can't find one. They're hard to find. I've been trying for a while now to get one. But like the prismatic design of the razor that you just came out with, that's basically spot on to it from my research, and it's one of those razors that really does deliver a superior shave for that we never got to see here in the United States because of multiple reasons. But I mean, to be honest, just never made it here. There wasn't really the internet back then. There wasn't any guys like us online talking about it. There wasn't eBay or anything. So if you wasn't at your drugstore, you weren't getting it unless you went abroad. You traveled abroad. So definitely, yeah. I mean, it's just Gillette was all over the United States. There wasn't really many other options. Maybe some Wilkinson swords.
One that just came to mind was like the Lutz slant.
But definitely those French razors.
They're a little bit hard to find now, but very nice design. Very
about 2 years ago.
Yeah, my brother had one and he let me try it out, and it was a good shaver. I ended up giving it back to him. There you go.
I didn't really care for it too much. I like their straight bar better than their slant. But these were like new old stock on eBay. Some guy had a box of like 50 of them and was selling them, so everyone was running out and getting them. But yeah, so let's just definitely something to check out. It wasn't my favorite. Wardonia also makes a mean Bakelite, or made a mean Bakelite. They were out of England. And I like the weight of this because they're using metal for the top cap. And then there's the Neogam, which is a slant because the head is slanted. But this one is really
something like that.
I don't have it in my office, but this is a really, really cool design. And especially for like what I do with my beard here, it just naturally like takes the shape. But the problem with these tilted heads is you subconsciously adjust to it, turning it back into a straight razor a lot of the time. You really got to consciously remember to pull it straight, else you're missing out on the slant action. So those are just to name a few, but I'm telling you, like, there's a lot of cool stuff that came out of Europe that you've never heard of, you've never seen. Just do a little bit of research. I guarantee 10 minutes of research will yield many, many really cool designs that you've never seen before. Right. Anyone else have anything to add to that? The clean shaver. What is the clean shaver going on about? Oh, that's you, Scott. I'm reading. Okay, next question.
Let's see. Can you speak on brush cleaning methods and recommended frequency?
Well, I'm going to put a link to one right now. This is right there's a video I did on how to make your own brush cleaner, because there's a lot of great brush cleaners out there. MAC, I think, might be the best. So the next time
MAC Cosmetics.
Yeah, next time your girlfriend or wife is going to MAC, give her a shopping list. It'll be the size of a fortune cookie fortune. It'll just say brush cleaner, but it's pink. It's in a bottle. That stuff is superb. It does a great job. But at the end of the day, you can save yourself a lot of money and just make it yourself. In that video link I put over on the side, I'll also put it right here. But isopropyl alcohol, 71% isopropyl alcohol. Shampoo and conditioner, mane and tail. I recommend that for using shampoo and conditioner because that was originally developed
for animal hair.
Yeah. And then a leave-in conditioner too. I believe Mane and Tail also makes a leave-in conditioner also. These are all ingredients that you'll be adding to it, and water. And I think that's it. You'd mix it up. The best way to mix up this concoction is one of those little like coffee battery-operated mixers. I don't know if it's for coffee, just drinks in general. For sports shakes, maybe. That'll blend up really nice. However, it will bubble. If it does bubble, keep a spray bottle of isopropyl next to you and just spray down the bubbles. But that right there, you'll come up with a huge gallon worth of it, or half a gallon worth of this stuff that'll last you forever. And it really it works just as well as MAC, if not better. And you would just dip your brush in there for 5 minutes, shake it out, and then on paper, newspaper, or not newspaper, but paper, some type of white paper, something absorbent, paper towel works great. Just brush it out on that, and that'll take out a lot of the buildup and whatnot that's been broken down from the solution. Dip it back in there, the solution, for 5 more minutes, and then rinse out and comb gently. Don't ever pull anything, there'll be little snarls maybe that you're gonna have to gently comb out, like you're dealing with a horsehair,
especially if you have a horsehair brush.
Yes, yeah, that gets nappier than Bob Marley. Who else has got some advice out there? Scott?
Well, for a long time, I just used regular, a diluted vinegar solution.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also done 20 mule team borax, a very small amount in hot water, and just soak it for 10 minutes. And I've never had any problem with that at all. And I've got pretty hard water, a lot of minerals in my water.
Yeah.
And every 6 months to a year, I'll soak it for 10, 15 minutes. And that's really all I've needed to do.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I think I do a month, every 2 months. It really, you got to watch the knot and what it's looking like. You got to remember what it once looked like. I've had some knots that once I've cleaned them, they come back to life. They look better than they did when the day I bought them. So, yeah. So it's really.
Yeah, they like bloom out. They'll come out. Yeah. Some of my brushes, I can tell you, if you don't wash it, I mean, after like a few months, if you let it go, you don't realize how funky they really get until you actually wash them out, and then you see that they restore the shape.
I don't think I've ever really
they
cleaned
actually
my
once
brushes.
were. It's amazing.
Sacre bleu. Tell us what we
So
want
I
to
guess
hear.
I know what I'm going to be doing this weekend.
Yeah. Go to that
But
link
really,
over there.
when it comes down to it, a thorough rinse after a shave is perfectly adequate for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be cleaning
And
brushes.
that's what I do. I mean,
Thorough rinse.
I rinse them really, really well after I'm done shaving, and so I've never really had a problem.
I think it also comes down to what you're using in your shave. If you are using a pre-shave oil in your shave, you might want to wash your brush a little bit more frequently, because my biggest worry is always getting that oil gunked up in the knot and it becoming rancid or something else. Who knows? So it's what is on your face and you're using that brush will depend on how often you need to wash that knot.
Yep.
Okay. What else you got, Scott?
Let's see. How many shaves do you typically get from an SE type blade?
I'm not taking this.
So there's three different kinds of SEs, right? There's the Gem SE, there's the Injector SE, and then there's the Feather SE.
And the Valet SE.
And the Valet, yes. So I guess 4 type. Like I said last week, I always consider the Valet. I know. I always consider the Valet and the Gem basically the same kind of blade, because
very similar.
Fine, one doesn't. Yeah, the Valet auto straps. That's what we mean. So for me personally, so on the Feather Artist type blades, for instance, I usually get anywhere between 15 and 20, sometimes more, on one of those blades. A Gem type blade, I think I've gone as high as 12, and it started getting a little rough at that point, so I just swapped it out. Injectors, probably 12 to 15, and I've never used a Valet or an auto strap blade, so that's my experience.
Mantic?
For me, Injectors, 5-ish full shaves. I haven't used Gems enough to really get a good feel for that. Auto straps, maybe 3, maybe 4. Now the Feathers that a lot of people get many more shaves from, as you just heard, I don't. I can get maybe 10 at the most.
Interesting.
But I've never been able to get very much beyond that at all. So I'm kind of surprised at that answer, and maybe again it's my water or my technique or something like that. I
probably just have a wussy beard, so
it's probably the wussy beard.
It probably is. Well, I shave my head with them too, though, so I mean it gets double the area, but I get great results out of them. As far as longevity is concerned.
I just never push any blade. I mean, I'm happy with like getting 3 or 4 shaves out of anyone and just like tossing it. That's just where I'm at in life.
Yeah.
But before we continue, we need to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, folks.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
That was
and
a great.
welcome back. Yeah, see how I
loved it. I laughed. I cried. It was beautiful.
Touches you right here.
Yeah,
right here.
that's
Okay.
commercial,
Okay.
yeah.
So what do we got now, Scott? Where are we moving on to?
Let's see. What's your favorite wet shaving product you can easily obtain locally or at a drugstore, big box retailer, or supermarket?
Glycerin.
There are a lot of really good
nice
aftershaves that you
question.
can get at grocery stores. Like Barbasol makes a great aftershave. Brute makes a good aftershave. The new Old Spice, it's not as good as the old stuff, but the old Sheraton stuff, it's a decent aftershave itself. The scent is, but yeah, there are a lot of good aftershave products you can get at regular stores. You can also get Williams shave soap at a lot of stores. Yeah, Aquavella is another one.
Persona blades, probably branded as whatever pharmacy you're at blade, but Persona.
Or Schick. Schick injector blades are also
Schick.
Persona, but yeah.
And what's that Schick injector that they're still selling? What's the name of that one? The black
The Get Supply.
The Get Supply?
Yeah, the Get Supply injector.
Yeah. I've seen those. What else is there?
Mm-hmm.
The luxury soap.
The Vander Hagen, what's the special soap
not
they
bad.
have that came out? Not the deluxe, not the one the green ones. The luxury.
If it doesn't
That's
work
pretty
well,
good
that's where the
for a
glycerin
grocery
comes in. You can
store.
also
So
buy it at the pharmacy too.
that stuff works very well.
I think
It's not
everyone
too
should have a bottle of
expensive either.
glycerin in their shave station or at their shaves at the ready. Yeah. Super
Lewis
loud.
mentioned
no one talks about that anymore.
Lewis mentioned Thayer's, so witch hazel.
Oh yeah,
You know, is a great, good shaving product.
Thayer's. And what's the other one with the girl on it that I'm always a sucker for when I'm buying aftershave witch hazel? You know, the really floral decorative like bottle.
Murray and Landman?
What is it?
Murray and Landman Florida water?
No, not Florida water. Humphreys. Humphreys, is that it?
Humphreys.
Yes. Thanks, Iggy. Yeah, that stuff's. I like that, but it doesn't smell that great compared to the other
Humphreys.
Thayer's, but because it really has that witch hazel, potent, almost gamey type scent. But I'm a sucker for the advertising, is what it all comes down to. It looks great on my counter.
There you
go. What else is there? Isopropyl. I think isopropyl alcohol is another good thing to have at the ready, but the type in the spray bottle. I think it's great for a really quick cleanup too around the sink or whatnot. Great for the blades, a little spray down the blades. And also, if there's, if you're leaving your blades in your razor, and you're just relying on a shake before you put it down, spray that a little bit of isopropyl alcohol in there, and it'll get where you can't get, and that'll help the water evaporate faster in there too. It's also good for if you use like pomade or oil, anything oily, like a pre-shave oil on your hands. Give your hands a spray with that really quick. It'll break down the oil really fast.
Right.
And then you can pick up the razor with it. So that's another thing you can get at any one of those stores.
Styptic pencils.
Styptic pencils, yes. Yes, created by ex-wives, right?
They sting like a mother, but they are
effective.
They're great. Yes,
and
they
if
are.
You're a
very
cook,
effective.
anybody you're watching, you're a cook, keep that at your cooking station, your cutting station too, or any kitchen. Really, it's a quick fix if you nick yourself.
Yep, true. Clubman was another one that should have been mentioned. Clubman aftershave, very good stuff.
Yeah. Well, typically where you find the stick pencil, you'll find the Clubman.
Yeah, you'll find Clubman.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Actually, I mean, we're really within the past year or so, there's a lot more been available than a lot of the classics that have already been mentioned. I'm seeing here in a not very big city in Texas, Pacific shaving cream, the caffeinated one. I'm seeing much more of that. And speaking of styptic pencils, I'm also seeing Pacific Shavings Nick Stick, the liquid stuff, which comes on a roller ball, which is excellent. Cremo Cream, I'm seeing a lot more of. Particularly, I think you're just now starting to see the cooling mentholated Cremo Cream, which I think is a lot better than the original Cremo Cream. But the original is nothing to sneeze at either. And what was the other one I was going to mention? It was mentioned in the side comments here. Hold on. Oh, bevel. If you have a Target nearby, you take a look to see if they are carrying bevel yet. Now, it's kind of a slow rollout. But if you do have one, hey, they're good, solid products.
The razor, well, when I actually got to try their system out a year and a year and a half ago or so.
Yeah.
And their shaving products, like the software, was just okay. The brush is a good brush. The razor is a good razor. Their blades are even pretty good, but it is decent equipment.
I think their shaving cream is probably the weakest link in the chain, but it's not bad. It's just there's nothing really. Yeah, it's nothing to write home about. Their aftershave, for example, is slightly mentholated, so it's got a nice little cooling sensation. As you said, the razor and brush are solid.
Yeah, I still use them.
Which reminds me, I just found out that you mentioned you tried the bevel system. As of a few days ago, Bevel is now selling their products a la carte on their website.
Oh.
So even if you don't have a Target in the area, you don't now have to go for the subscription model or get the whole thing if you don't want. You can buy the products one at a time now on their website.
There you go.
I also want to recommend health food stores too. Whole
Kiss
Foods,
My
not
Face.
so much.
You often find Kiss My Face products at health food stores.
Yes, Kiss My Face you can find. As for Whole Foods audience, though, really isn't wet shavers. They're more people that want animal cruelty-free products and so on and so forth. So the shaving soap kind of stinks there. But the Urban Cowboy aftershave products, those are pretty cool. Their soap, not so much. But Trader Joe's gets it right. They get an A+ from me. They have selling a kit right now with a brush, a soap, and a balm. And to me, the soap is wonderful. It's very similar to tobacco. And for those of you who know how serious I take tobacco, shaving soap, that is, that will tell you something. So they're doing it right. I don't know if it's for a limited time, but I think it was under $10 for this kit. So I say stock up on them now for to gift for Christmas.
$10 with a brush?
With a brush, with a synthetic brush.
Really?
So get them now before the hipsters do.
Well, there is a mustache.
Yeah.
But so they do it right there. They have some great products, and they also sell, as do other health food.
They had a ton of them.
Juice and aloe gel. I think will also be in the fridge. And what else?
Oh, and one more thing you can find at the cheap stores that's reasonable is Nivea for Men Sensitive.
Yes.
And then there's the dollar store buys. Dollar stores always have something funky in there too for $1.
Yep.
That and you'll see some stuff blow up in the forums for like a month that people are finding at the dollar store that they're enjoying. So you keep that in mind. The dollar store, sometimes there's a gem in there.
Another one is Lucky Tiger. That
I see that at pharmacy sometimes.
Good aftershave.
Yeah,
you don't see it as often as a lot of the other
it's one of the oldest.
Aqua Velvas, those kind of things. But it is very good.
Yeah, they've been doing it for a long, long time, and they're like bombs and emulsions. Like that's what I like. When I think of a bomb, I think of that thin, runny but gooey. I don't know, not like a lotion or a moisturizer. They just that's what I originally have always thought of when I think of a bomb, because of Lucky Tiger back in the day. What else is there? There's got to be two things. Oh, also at health food stores, essential oil. Essential oils, I think, are great, like lavender or something.
Have you guys
a hot towel? You put a few drops of that in the hot water.
Oh yeah, you can get essential oils in there,
and that's really soothing to slap on your face before the shave and whatnot, and get your skin prepared. Or especially eucalyptus, that really opens everything up, especially during this time of year, cold and flu season. It's a very
including your sinuses.
Yes, exactly. For the hot towel trend. But that's
Yeah.
all I got right
Brett
now.
Dills was mentioning Bath and Body Works has the CO Bigelow cream, and
yes,
it's good stuff. And I've actually been to the Bigelow store in New York City. That was pretty cool.
Bath and Body Works used to be my go-to store back in the day. They used to have this great scent called Woodland. That was like my go-to scent at one time. It was short-lived, but I don't think they even carried anymore. But Woodland.
There you go.
Any other questions, Scott?
Let's see. I was wondering if you guys have noticed different brands of soaps or aftershaves not working well together and causing skin irritation. I can have a great shave in the morning, and that night I would take a shower and apply aftershave balm brand different from what I used in the morning. My skin would light up. Have you guys ever had this issue?
So they're applying it after
Not
a shower
really.
at night? No,
Not really.
It sounds like you're reacting to a fragrance, or it could be any number of ingredients.
Yeah.
But the thing with a fragrance oil is not many people mention this because you only have to list it as fragrance oil on the ingredient label. But a fragrance oil can be made up of like 4,000 different compounds. So you would have to even isolate it in between that fragrance oil, what it is that you're reacting to. So that's the first thing I suspect typically is a fragrance oil when someone has a reaction and whatnot. I would say stay away from that. I piff it.
I can't say I've ever had any problem mixing or crossing brands.
Well, if he just showered, though, he's not mixing anymore, right? He's showered and then he's slapping.
Yeah, that's true. You're washing it off and so using something else. I don't know.
It's a reaction to
I've
one of
never
the
really had a
ingredients.
problem. Probably. Another question here is, I get flare-ups or spots on my face a lot. I've been shaving for about 10 months. On average, how long does it take for your skin to get used to DE shaving?
Wait, read that one more time, Scott.
I get flare-ups or hot spots on my face a lot. I've been shaving for about 10 months. On average, how long does it take for your skin to get used to DE shaving?
Are they a face latherer or a bowl latherer?
Good question. Let's see. So that was asked by Chris.
Before you jumped from cartridge
bowl
shaving?
latherer. He says bowl latherer.
Okay, it's usually the exact opposite. Like the splotchy stuff can be caused by the agitation of the brush, like digging too deep with that and whatnot. I've seen that happen, so I usually recommend people try it in a bowl. Then
just for clarification purposes, for flare up, do you mean like irritation from the shave, or do you mean like a acne flare up kind of a thing, like where you're getting ingrown hairs or pimples or that kind of thing?
Razor burn.
Okay.
Acne.
So he says no spots, acne. Okay.
One word. Alum.
Live
it, love it, learn it. Alum. I wish I knew of this stuff when I was in high school, because it cures acne like that.
It's astringent.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Back acne, face acne, whatever. I mean, like, this stuff is awesome.
But though, is he really getting acne, or is it an ingrown hair?
Good question.
Yeah.
So this is a technique issue. You were chopping up during that when you were reading me the question, but Mantic, what do you have?
I think from the perspective of the essence of the question of skin getting used to a new way of shaving, I think that can be within a month or so. Just the change, strictly the change. Going from, say, electric razors to wet shaving. There is a curve in there where the face and the skin are going, hey, wait a minute, something new is happening here. Then I think there is another curve of getting your technique down.
Yep.
Making sure you have the right products, making sure you're preparing adequately, and just being able to consistently get a great shave. For myself, speaking for myself, I got used to it. My face got used to it after a month or so. It took me about 6 months, pre-videos and without a lot of help. It took about 6 months to really get consistent with shaves. But then the other issue is if you change your products a lot, you change up from different soaps or different grains or whatever, there may be subtle differences there too.
Yep.
I will say that that if it's an ingrown hair, there are some strategies you can take. The 10 skin, you need to running a soft bristle toothbrush over the area can be effective.
Tweezers.
Pardon me?
I said tweezers. Just pluck it.
Hot compound.
Yeah.
I try not to pluck it as much as I am just getting I don't pluck out the whole thing. I just try to expose it to the air, because if you pluck the whole follicle out, then you're getting into all sorts of other issues.
Right. I said that very tongue in cheek. Don't just pluck out the hairs. Yeah.
I will say
that's a mistake I used to make when I was cartridge shaving. Actually, I would get this big ingrown, and I would get it would be super thick under there, and like really built up, and I would actually try and dig it out with tweezers, and it was terrible. Don't do that, because that would just get more and more inflamed.
I will say that because I am always trying different kinds of things for review or testing or whatever, I still get an ingrown hair maybe once a month or so. I mean, that often. And I've been doing this for 10 years, so it can still happen. Interestingly enough, one thing I will mention that I'm working on for an article are facial cleansing brushes that kind of prepare the face, kind of thing. And Art of Shaving has come out with a
shoe shiner.
It is one of these buffing things, and then they have
blade buffing.
Yeah, there you go. And with a glycerin-based pre-shave gel that is kind of like Trumper skin food, and you're supposed to use the combination of the two to reduce the likelihood of ingrowns, which makes sense because you're essentially polishing off the skin, exfoliating the skin with this thing. Right. And to its credit, I almost hate to give credit to Art of Shaving, but like I said, I normally get maybe 1 or 2 ingrowns a month. Since trying this, I have yet to get one. So whether it's because of this or some other reason, I'm still working on. But it's an interesting take on trying to address a historical issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I can jump in just with the ingrowns issue, I like Mantic. I still get an ingrown or two every now and then. Usually on the back of my head, as a head shaver, and Joe may have some similar experience here. But usually like right here, just above the neck, at the base of where my hairline would be, I usually get an ingrown maybe one every 1 or 2 months, something like that. It's not very often, but you can also, your face changes if you have gained weight or lost weight or anything like that. Your face is changing almost constantly. If you're dehydrated, your face is different. Yeah,
when you wake up in the morning, you're puffy and so on and so forth. It's probably the worst time to shave.
So yeah, your face can absolutely change, and so it's going to come down to technique. It's going to come down to the quality of your instrument. Even now for me, I mean, I still get hot spots every now and then underneath my neck here, or right along the edge of my mouth. Sometimes I'll catch just a little bit, and it'll end up with ingrowns, things like that. There's all kinds of stuff.
Scott, it's frequent though. If you're getting them frequently here in the back of the neck of your neck or the bottom of your head, I would wait to shave that spot. And when you do, put a cold towel there. Do it like a little cold shave in that section right there, so you're not getting so close. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's fine. Steve just commented, "Don't pluck the trouble hairs, grow them out and electrolysis that hair forever." You could, or
they do sell personal electrolysis kits.
My wife, I have to say this quietly. My wife actually, when I started shaving my head with a DE, she got bummed because she liked me getting the little bumps on the back of my head because she liked to pop.
That's I had a girlfriend like that one time. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
There's also there's bombs.
There's something that's awfully satisfying about popping his ear.
Yeah, but it should be a lonely victory.
I've heard that,
Then there's a bomb called.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a bunch of guys in the comment section that are just like, "Yep, me too." Hey,
you guys are.
I'm not alone here.
But Smiles Prid. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's a bomb. It comes in a little. Carmix, but it's an orange cover instead. That's a drawing bomb. So you put that on like a splinter or something you just want drawn out. That on top of ingrown hair might work if you put it on at night because it is kind of brownish. You don't want to wear that throughout the day. But also, to deal with them, what is it? Acetylsalicylic acid. There we go. Con always makes fun of me because I can't pronounce that. But that's pretty much aspirin. In fact, that's exactly what aspirin is. So you could use a solution of that. You just crush that between 2 teaspoons, a little bit of aspirin, add that to a cup with an ounce of warm.
Put a lighter underneath.
No, that's something else. An ounce of warm water and like a teaspoon of glycerin. Mix that up. Mix that solution up and apply that at night before you go to bed to the spot with the ingrown hair, and that'll the swelling will go down and hopefully the hair will come out, or at least to a point like a loop where you can pull out the rest of it. But that aspirin works the same way topically as it does inside, so it's going to bring swelling down and whatnot, and it might just cure it on its own. I mean, just like that too. So that's a quick tip in an old wife's cure that's always seemed to work in the past.
Yep. You didn't expect that comment from me, did you?
Comments, just very briefly, I saw one scroll by asking whether the Art of Shaving brush was similar to the Clarisonic brush. And by coincidence, I happen to have the Art of Shaving brush and a spin and a clone.
I just happen to have these right here.
Is the black one bigger, Mark?
This has two. The brushes are very, very, very similar. So I have not finished my research yet, but they're pretty close so far.
Same factory. I wouldn't doubt it.
Okay. Let's see. One more question here. So Steve the Daily Shaver asked, the Blades Grimm have launched their Occam's razor with the one blade style loading method. Thoughts? Do we need another single edge feather artist style razor? He says, yes. So Mantic has one. Of course, Mantic has one. So,
well,
this guy came prepared.
I think if competition,
a lot of stuff over there. Look at this
innovation, and maybe we can get the better mousetrap. What do you think?
It only gets things better.
Mantic, thoughts on Occam's?
Well, first of all, this is a prototype, so it may not bear any resemblance to the final product. So bearing that in mind,
that looks pretty close.
This is an aluminum prototype. It does load in the back. It has a little loading and unloading tool to make it easier. Yep. You don't have to use the little tool if you don't. It will work with your fingers. Here's the little doodad tool. But it's not required. It just makes it easier. It takes the feather or Kai, long SE blades. It is at first glance. I just got this yesterday, so it is. There's a very initial first impressions. It's a very simple design, surprisingly simple. It only bears a resemblance in my opinion, bears resemblance to the one blade, just because the blade goes in from the back. I mean, that's really the only similarity that I can see. I've only had one shave with it so far, and it is surprisingly gentle. I was expecting, with these the feather SE blades that go into the Cobras and the all the other
Mongoose and
plus of course the straight edge razors that have replaceable blades. I got a surprisingly gentle shave from it. I was expecting something much more aggressive, and this was pleasantly gentle. So again, I still have to really put it through its paces. But I definitely think it is an interesting, simple design that has, based on a single shave, has some promise.
Oh, we got Luke right over there in the corner.
Luke just commented. Yeah.
Okay.
Luke, we're talking about you. Hey, is anyone else getting a crackle
yeah,
Just
from
got the razor last night and
Nice.
used it for the first time just before this this broadcast, and quite a pleasant shave with it. I like it.
There you go.
And in fact, I've actually got to jump off. If you guys would like, would Luke like to take my place really quick? Maybe. Sorry, my wife's calling me. We got family coming over.
Okay.
But-
Well, we're winding down. Okay. We're gonna pull you on.
Okay. So, oh, he said, okay,
I'm looking for you.
you better pass. Okay, he said he's going to pass.
Oh, he's gonna pass.
So, yeah.
Okay. I just have one more question here, and this question came to me from a PM, and I wrote it down after the fact. But I'm going to pose this question to you, Mantic, just because, well, one, I don't know if English is his first language, and it's frustrating for me to even read this. But no, I'm joking. But he writes, and I think you're the perfect person to answer this because you get this question every day. He writes, every now and again, I struggle with a hard facial shave with a lot of skin irritation. Is there a way to get rid of it? Now, I think we've pretty much mostly covered that already, but if you could answer that in a few sentences for this guy, I can direct him to this part of the program.
If I was to just guess based on that very short comment, I would say prep.
Okay.
Make sure you've prepared your face correctly and gotten yourself a decent lather.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. So to me, it also sounds like he's using a cartridge razor. This didn't come from a shaving forum, so it sounds like he's coming out of the cartridge world with this question too. And I would say change.
And
the way you
also,
shave.
I would say wait a day or two between shaves. Give yourself some time to heal in between. That's going to make a big difference as well. If you're getting rough shaves, give yourself some time.
Mm-hmm.
Joe.
I would agree. Just give some time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming again.
I guess that would work.
And if that's the case, I think you should check
Trying
out
to figure that one out.
traditional shaving using either a straight razor or a safety razor, double edge razor, and
Or if he wants to stick with a cartridge, just
brush
see if you can get by with fewer blades in the cartridge. You can go from 5 to 3 or 2 or whatever.
Yeah. Yep, no doubt. And then maybe begin the switch, as Mantic says, just lowering the amount of blades in the cartridge, and maybe even picking up a puck of soap and a shave brush too. That'll get you in the door, and that's kind of like that is wet shaving. That's where wet shaving begins, if you ask me. But that seems to be it, folks. I just wanted to make a quick announcement. Clown fruit. It's almost done, folks. Yeah, and okay, so you see the color of this.
The fruit.
That's the wormwood.
We're waiting for this stuff.
This is absinthe. That's the wormwood that gives it the color. It's the real deal. Anyways, I just wanted I know a lot of people are waiting for that, and I just wanted to announce the contest we're having. Local Jet and I this week is we want to see as many creepy clown photos as possible in the forums. #clownfruit. And I don't mean like the sadistic, evil-looking clowns. That's too easy. I want to see clowns from the past that they weren't trying to come off creepy. As many as you possibly can. And the winner will get a free bottle of clown fruit aftershave and soap as well. So just want to put that out there. I'll make an announcement later on, but I know some of you have been waiting for that. But it is 3:57 on my end, so I think it's time to call it a show. And Scott is still with us, gracing us with his presence. Even though his wife is pulling me by the headphones.
I just texted my wife. I was like, we're just wrapping up. So
okay, great. This has been another great episode, great question answer episode.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Mantic. It's always great to have you on board. Joseph Borrelli as well. It's always great to have you sitting in as well. And Scott, the clean shaver.
If I can inject something really quick, I am going to be creating a quick survey about what you feel like what is barbershop to you. So I'm going to be putting that together, hopefully, and have that out this next week. So keep an eye out for that. And I'll get a link over to Douglas so he can put it in the description on the video here once it's posted.
Yeah, before the show, I tried to create a poll, but then I realized if I create a poll for that, I'm kind of manipulating your answers because I'm providing answers for you to choose from. So I think the best way to do that is, what is barbershop to you? And I just clear your mind of everything and just answer that question. We just want to know. And Scott will provide a link for you to list that. And we're going to share that with Mantic, and he's going to do an article eventually about that topic that we've all been asking for such a long time. So thank you again for joining us, folks. It's been really great. Remember to subscribe. I'm pointing at Scott's dome. And never miss another Wet Shavers Roundtable again, especially one of these episodes. These are some of my favorite ones. So thanks for joining us. See you next week in episode 66 of the Wet Shavers Roundtable. Until then, shave on.